And you better curriculum once some kakra. Yeah, who's you for me in Sambiano? Curriculum, let me say, you better be kakra. Now you share. Yes, soon so much you might be in so and some kakra. And any num. Women so actually, Rebecca. Yeah, yo, Milasi. Good evening, listeners, and thanks once again for receiving us in your homes with your heart lab as we continue in our studies of keys to the kingdom. As usual, it's a great pleasure. We all understand we are studying together. When we have shared our thoughts, you also have the opportunity to share your thoughts, and we also learn something from you. Thank you very much. Atiepɔ na makonya so akyia obi bia ere amese sɛ ɛnɛ nso ɔdɔ akoma pa magye a watu wɔ mu fie a ɛbɛtua yɛ adesua soɔ na sɛ na ɛka de bia no ɛde pa sɛ nya agyanto sɛ yɛsua adeɛ yɛnya kae deɛ wie a mo so mo wakonya sɛ mobɛkyerɛ mo adwene nso yɛsua biribi afi mo nkyɛn ɛde mo ase bebree ɛsɛ bosom baako a yɛtwɛ mu na yɛka mmɔborɔ ho asɛm a ɛfa school ɛna ne yɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn wɔ school mu na ɛnnɛ na nka mekaa sɛ yɛde ade foforɔ bɛtua so nanso mpanyinfoɔ baako mmanu bi amema ho sɛ ɛm sɛ curriculum no nyɛnya wie ho asɛm na sɛ yɛhwɛ nso so yɛde ba yɛn sunsum adwumadie ho sɛnea anaasɛ abrabɔ sunsum afa sɛnea curriculum no nso ɛka ɛho anaasɛ ɛboa yɛn afa nti ɛnɛ yɛbɛhwɛ na biribi nso nam clip bi nso nam TikTok to a nenam WhatsApp ɛmi sɛ I just have a question bi a ɔpɛ sɛ yɛhwɛ na mmea nkasa nso mi wɔ interest bi nti sɛ akonya no ba deɛ a ɛneɛ yɛmfa mbom na yɛnhwɛ. Listeners, we're going to take a journey to listen to a clip. I believe most of you might have. We will see how we'll play this. I need those online to also see. So maybe I just say you can get ready for the radio play just in case my volume is not loud enough to pick it for the radio. We want to look at what the curriculum means to us. And at the end of it all, I want us to link this all up with Genesis chapter 6. Genesis chapter 6. I believe I'm right. Genesis chapter 6, I believe I'm right. Where we have the story of the Nephilim gods. The Nephilim gods. Some people know it very easily as the Anunnakis. There is something in there, something happened on the planet which caused God to destroy the earth at the time. And this is about the Nephilim, and I'm very sure you can find something about this in Genesis chapter 6. The Lord saw the great wickedness as of the human race and had become on earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil. That is in Genesis chapter 6. There's a clip that we want to play. I think we should roll out this clip. It came to me on WhatsApp. So, credit to whoever produced this clip on WhatsApp, on TikTok, that is running through the WhatsApp pages, and it is about listening to a student leader and house prefect of in science secondary school, Miss Rich Love Odro, and so forth. So we'll be playing that clip, and please, I am not the originator of the clip. We're just taking interest in discussing a few things therein. Actually, for say when I'm more WhatsApp and TikTok, in science school, near Badia, an interview, near Okaya, and they said, you know, I just saw a question being to mommy, and then they said, make me a question. Now, one more motive, some more question. And I'm going to when I actually. Now, Mrs. Mark and the new fast and I just money and try here. Okay.
This is the last classroom I used before I left the school. Form 3 at 1.
But now it's the agric block, so it's an agric class.
I told people that I am a student of in Science Senior High School. They said, what school is that? It's not popular. We've not seen it in Science and Math quiz. Why?
You're talking about
okay, so can we play from your end?
Gosh, let me ask you a question.
Tell me why, don't ask me.
You see, the Science and Math quiz is a show.
It's a what?
It's a show. But then my school, it is not for show. I'm surprised you of all people, you're asking me such a question. As a noble of this institution, you should know that the main objective or the main aim of this school is to produce nobles to correct the mistakes that those Science and Math quiz people are doing.
Hey!
This quiz is not meant for show, Charlie. I'm serious. It's not meant for show.
To correct what?
The mistakes.
That's what are doing.
That those Science and Math quiz, the people, they are doing, the harm they are creating to the country.
The schools.
Yeah.
They are creating science, harm with Science and Math. Why do you say that?
Let me explain so that you understand. You see, in such schools, they have students that are biologically good. In terms of academics, they are biologically endowed with the knowledge. It's their field.
Those people that go for the Science and Math.
Yes, it's not like the teachers that make them. They are brain, the mind they are like, it's in their blood, it's in their genes. So it's not somebody that forces them to do it, but then it's with them. They are born with it.
No, but so why don't you have?
No. They won't come to this school because in this very country we have institutions that were built by colonial minds that have all the required facilities
what
for learning. Institutions like Presec, Prempeh, those big institutions, those big names. But then, if
they were built by colonial minds,
yes,
as in what?
You see, they were not built by a black man who will not sow a seed that he will not live to reap. The black man will never waste his time on a project that he will not gain benefits from.
How do you prove that?
You see, look at those new institutions that are being established. Take a good look.
They are not.
You wait and compare them to those colonial schools. You see a vast difference. The school has been built all right, but look at the infrastructure. Let me ask you, if you were to be an academically good student, and then you are told to choose a school, which school you choose? You automatically go in for those colonial schools because they have everything you can dream of. I'm not talking about those that paid to go there, but rather I'm talking about those that genuinely deserve to be there.
So there are people who pay to be there.
I said that we don't talk plenty about that one. I say we know that there are people who are paid to be there. And as I'm talking, you see, there are people out there. They know themselves. They know that, as for me, I paid to be there. And in the same way, there are people like I deserve to be there.
So wait, the conversation is this: those science and math people who feature in the competition, they are people who are already academically, they are wired academically, biologically. It is in their DNA.
Yes, but the school will not tell you such. The school will tell you that we have teachers that have prepared and trained our students for such courses.
That is true.
No, if that is true, then it means that GES is a biased and a failed institution.
Why?
In the sense that if it is really true, and if it is really, really true, then why is that GES has recruited superhuman teachers for this institution, but then recruited extremely dumb teachers for other institutions? If they say all the teachers that they are giving out write an exam, write the test, then it means all teachers should be equal, and then they should be able to produce genuinely intelligent students.
So they should be able to teach everyone to be the same.
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So why is it not happening like that?
Amazing.
If you look at it clearly, then we can proudly say, I can boldly say and testify to the fact that if it is true, then it means that the teachers do not contribute to the success rate of the students. But if a school is fortunate enough to gain an academically endowed student, they pick that student up, add a little polishes, and then they gamble with the student.
For a show.
Yes. If they take you in, it works out perfect. If it doesn't, which school can you specifically point out and say that this school has won the science and math quiz 5 times in a row without pause? Like they won this year, the next year they win, the following they win, the following they win 5 times. Which school? Just give me a name.
Because sometimes this year they will get somebody who is good and gabble, and the next year they will not get.
They will not get.
So it keeps rotating like that.
That's how it is.
It's a show.
It's a show.
What are you doing? What do you do?
It's a show, but then this school is not meant for show. If you look at the vision of our school, it says an institution for academic excellence. Let's go into Presec. Let's randomly select a student and ask questions. You see, the student will be fumbling, but let the school authorities themselves pick out a student for you and ask the student. You see, you get exactly what you want. But if you randomly select, you see the difference.
Are you the school prefect?
No, I'm not the school prefect.
You are just a regular house prefect.
Charlie. But the school is making me. Since our school is not meant for joke. On the 21st, our school is having a program. We are changing the name of the school to that one man, that he single-handedly gained the freedom of Ghana with just one hand. He gained total freedom for the nation. Aside for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
So this school is going to be changed from inside to
Kwame Nkrumah Senior High School. You see, Kwame Nkrumah was not a lazy man. We want to change the name to Kwame Nkrumah because we want the name to fit the objective of the school.
Which is
to create nobles who are going to go out there and correct the mistakes that have been made by those big men. You see, when you put Ghana on the table, dissect its parts, open it up, you see that those people occupying big positions, they are the same people from those big institutions. And then they are the same people who steal, who are corrupt, stealing the money, stealing Ghana's money, building their own companies, and then they sit down and look for honest people to come and run it for them. It's funny when you think about, like, when you sit down and think about it, it's actually funny.
But agenda here is to produce nobles.
Nobles like yourself, my guy.
I'm a noble.
Share. What you are doing alone is having an impact in the education system. You see, the main objective is not to produce lazy people, not to produce corrupt students, but rather to produce people who will be able to go out there, make an impact. People who will be able to change the corrupt methods. We are not part of the story of corruption. When you come to Kwame Nkrumah Senior High School, our core values is discipline, integrity, hard work, and excellence. No matter what you do, we excel. So talk not about NSMQ. We are talking about the quality of the goods being produced. If I'm a quiz student, I'm being groomed. I perfect everything. I go out there on telly, I'm perfect. But then I come out and I'm not able to meet the standard of community. What good has the school done to me? But in here, we don't look as such. We make time for every student. We make sure every student is up to standard. And then we are all able to go out there, not to become flops of society, but then to make perfect people for the society. That is it.
Hello, Adjuster. You, Adjuster, work of our back. Uh, Thank you very much, Augusta. Why church and Yama Baby, I mean, to me, who said, Brofon American, said, Queen American. I am not holding brief for anybody. I'm just going to look at the presentation as it makes logical sense to my understanding. It is a challenge to say, you go to the good school, take anybody at all, ask him questions and find out whether at random picking, they can all actually perform. That's a big challenge, a real big challenge. And talking about teacher recruitment, that's also another big challenge, where I will ask the question, who recruits teachers for the schools? That's the challenge the girl is throwing. Who recruits it? If it is GS who recruits it, then if it is because teachers are teaching better in certain schools, then how come those schools always have the best teachers? But in that vein, we should also understand that if a school wants to maintain a certain standard, give the school a garbage teacher. The school can take the initiative of ensuring that that teacher delivers, because they want to preserve a certain image. So for that corporate image, you want to do a certain investment to make sure the teacher is good. That is why I say that one, I don't know how the recruitments are done. And it is possible that the school will say, this teacher, we want him here, if you know the background. I mean, we are looking at what possibilities there could be in these things, in this world that we have today, where you can't be sure what is really happening behind the scene. So how did the teacher get to the place? And how did it happen that if it's a matter of teachers, then why are some schools worse off than others? That is what the lady is praising. Now, why is it also that some schools, these schools that are looked at as the named schools, why are they always resourced? But let's not also forget that there are old students who want to uphold the image of their team in those schools. Now, let's put that one aside and come back to the student performance issue. The little I hear is that, call it a hearsay. Somebody may have to come and tell me whether it is. Even from the first entry of the student into the school, they are identified and given special attention. They enjoy certain benefits in order to prepare them for this quiz. If that is true, then it collaborates, the latest statement collaborates it, that if you should go and pick at random from those schools, then you are sure not to get everybody at the same level. And she's saying that in their school, is it in science? I don't know the pronunciation, it's NSEIN. In their school, everybody is being produced to a standard. So that if you should pick anybody at all and ask questions, the person can respond. And you see, the interviewer asked her, are you the school prefect, or just a house prefect? So it's just a house prefect, because the impression is that the school prefect is always picked as the best student. Look at the eloquence of this person and look at the thing that she's throwing out. And for me, they are bombshells based on what you make out of what she's saying. They are bombshells. So she says, go to the good schools, take people at random, and find out whether they will all perform the same. It's a challenge. So anybody can go and look at it. Anybody else can look at it. And it says, If you got the best grades, will you go to cycle school? No. You are also looking for the best school. And the best school is also going to take you because you are best, or you are among the best. Because they have an image they want to, hold up high. So they will do that. And you cannot say why are they trying to preserve their corporate image that wise. Any other school can also do the investment to get that. But when it comes to the question of is GES distributing teachers equally in performance around, that one is a big one that I don't know how to handle it, because you can never say all the teachers that came out from a teacher training college a certain year are also perfect before you are sending them out to do various areas. But is it possible that a teacher will be posted in the school will reject? That is a question mark. Right. So is it possible that this happens? That is the other side of it. Now, for me, the big beef is this. For me, the big beef is this. We have had some teachings here before, and you see our teachings link up now here and there. If only you have taken pain to listen to us over the period. We have had teachings here, and we talked about population control. And we talked about the fact, something about the survival of the fittest. The survival of the fittest. And we said that the meaning of the survival of the fittest is not the person who can fight harder. But the survival of the fittest is fit. F-I-T, you are fit. You deserve to exist. You deserve to survive. To the point that even in that teaching, it came up from documents of history that the concept is the fittest must survive, even if it comes to a point of having to slaughter the children of the unfit people. Because they have to survive at all costs, they must survive. This brings in the issue of the elite. And you have the elite schools, where it is only the Ogbonnanas that go there. And the question is, are they not the ones leading us? And the guy is telling you that, look, these people go to the big schools, the prominent schools, and they come back, and they come and lead us. Is our society perfect? If it is not perfect, then he's telling you that the people who went to the elite schools, the best schools, they come and rule over us and create problems. That's what the lady is saying. They go to the elite schools and come and head us and create problems. Then we, the people who go to the more broad schools, we go struggling to create a mess. That is what she's saying. And what I want us to understand from there, linking up with the history of the survival of the fittest, we talked about this thing as the foundation of economic theory. The foundation of economic theory that we are doing this day, and I'm an economist, the foundation of it all is about the survival of the fittest. So if it is about the survival of the fittest, then we know that, or we should understand, or it has been said from that historical perspective, that there are those who will want to go to the best schools, have the upper hand in order to come and rule over those low down. And I said here in our program a few weeks ago about this same thing. If you are talking about curriculum, and the curriculum unknown to you is targeted towards a certain agenda, only God knows who holds the ultimate agenda. And I talked about the fact that the mathematics curriculum, by research, the mathematics curriculum of South Africa was geared towards apartheid. And I have shown you so many academic papers, research papers. I've forwarded them to you on that matter. And the consequences after they have tried to change or reform the mathematics curriculum in South Africa. This is a study area. Okay? It's a case study area that can be looked at. So whatever is going on in the curriculum has an aim somewhere. And I said here before, if you are creating schools here for me, my children to attend, and your children are not attending those schools, they are going to schools that you feel are better off. What is the objective? What is the objective? Is it not because you feel that when your child goes to that school, he will have a certain upper hand over my children? It's a question. Is it not so? That is where the issue of the elite comes on board. Those who feel that they are fit to survive and others are not. In fact, if you go to the Bible, there's a portion of the Bible that talks about people having to eat some children. And I'm again referring us to Genesis chapter 6 that talks about the giants who are not satiable. They are never satisfied. So they must get what to eat at all costs. Whatever comes before them to eat, they must eat it. They must eat it. Okay? So, like I said, my beef here is, if you create best schools, I'm not talking about what name they are. I'm speaking in general. If you create best schools, and you are always resourcing the best schools, like I said, some people want to resource because it's their alma mater. You can't falter them. No, you can't falter them. But if you focus attention there and it becomes a national agenda, not even a national agenda, once there are a group of people who will want to follow a certain track, and they are making sure the track is still available, and they ensure that their offsprings follow that track, and it becomes difficult for others to follow that track, then ultimately they will end up in their family line forever ruling over you. That is where we will have to look at the educational curriculum as parents and ask ourselves, is the curriculum that we are using or that is before us really going to help all of us? The people who are putting the curriculum before us, are their children also part of it? Are their children also part of it? I am not here to say curriculum is good, curriculum is bad. I am only saying, if you put a curriculum before me as a very good curriculum, I want to see your child also undergoing that school. Don't send your child anywhere else. If you are sending your child anywhere else, then I want you to tell me the rationale. Am I safe to run this curriculum whilst your child is not running that curriculum? Yeah, so you see, the what I see cutting across the students' presentation, I'm sitting and asking myself, who schooled this person to come and talk like this? You see, but it's so deep, and all I get through is that some people are always being placed at an advantage over others. That is all I see. Some people are always being placed at an advantage over others. And for all you know, a certain generation of human beings, call it family, are ending up on that line. In other words, they will continue to be ruling you because of the kind of education they receive, which the ordinary man does not receive. We have done away with A level, O level long ago. But there are schools today that are still running A level, O level. Or maybe today they have stopped. But there are schools around. We run A level, we run O level, we run Cambridge, we run this, we run that. One school advertising all these things. Now, what I want to add to this is this. The issue of schools advertising, we have good teachers, we have examiners, we have this, we have that. As for the question of examiners, I know it is very illegal to do that, but schools are doing it. Then you ask yourself, in all fairness, if you are talking about examiners in this school and somebody say there are no examiners in my school, you should ask yourself, why is there no examiner in your school? Your school blocked from having access to examiners. The exam council is using teachers or resources all over the place. It is not workers of WAEC who mark exams. They can't do that. It is not the workers of WAEC who mark exams. Neither other institutions. Okay? There are people who mark exams and are not directly even teaching in those schools necessarily. So, if your school hasn't got an examiner, is it your fault or the exam council's fault? That is something else to be looked at. So, when we talk about a certain school being having been disadvantaged, we should also be fair to ask a question as to whether those schools were denied or they did not avail themselves of certain opportunities. Because no one can come and force you to be part of a certain process that will help the enhancement of education in your school. I think for my camp, bro, be brave. Now, the Emebon Tower, I can say, yeah, boy, a power bit says I was up so, and yeah, didn't want to go kakra. Now, the American say, yeah, ba, now I was school, no, now some I work and say, Tewa, school be no dear, or what you would and our teacher for our honor or more being. And I near here more as I'm trying or morning and I were. Now, say, oh, corner say, yeah, competition or maybe in Gunim, no, dear or share, nay, ye show. Now, the show now all canon, ni church mono any say. Or more dear, who dear call, and you mean, you about no kind school in no kind, say, who dear call school more. Ne two self will be a keke. Maybe start a science question. If you say, Obia bet me a no pet ana. Now, say, Oko catch us who for no say, Man, Yobia obey a question. I know, mammy, only near Omako Freno. Internet, she say, it been more while, or more being dada, and son of Moko school. Or more being or Mumo Jemu dada, and son of Moko school. Into no dear, no, she say. And yet, teacher, na be your hour ye was school, or nontina, nipano, what beings are now, I be with fear the answer of over. Now, say, yes, I dear. And your body as school do say, a banner saying, and as school be no dear. Teacher, almost dairy, and all the copper. And I hear the teacher, and you know, and all the by and on that, as I'm now. Student no can. Now, okay, you can say me far away money in and say, Anne, also say, why work or Sophia? Now I pass you, was he, ye pa. Now say, Cuckoo down schools war, and a member of school beings war, me near to do the end of the fat. By all this, Cuckoo down the end, and I'll be fat. And I'll be called. Now, Honsu, Nima were hotter. And I make you say, so, school, when I say Nima were hotter. And yet, I just said, ten biano aban and odama omo. Okay, say omampeni eko school bi ena omo ye omo afahia na say you tun suffer na by all means or the sikabeko so ahu or the sikabeko into some penny for sa efi sa school no na say omo do so a ena na che sa school no obederia sa eyadi sa ena penny for be sa fi mu sa ena sa penny for so omo sa de omo sika ba wurem sa enti ba hwe no na sa school no mo ni dodo na anase ebusuya a onam sa kwan no so no omo na omo ba di yeso na se omo di omo ba no eko school papa na se wudi wanya kwan amfa wo ba anko school papa enye omo ba we school a omo ba di wudi eso na mika we ade ko to asema bia cheche bia ye media etwem a ye ka nipadodora a chasa se ho asem se omo control ena ye ka economic theory senior economics nsem eba ye no na sabre no asema na ewo ho no se ebinim se fata so omo ti ase ebinim se fata so omo ti ase ebinim nse enti se ko ba no se akomo aba onu nti amu ye population control no se akomo aba na se ya ana se wona omo se fata so omo tinkwam na se omo onye duane ndi a se hiafo se omo nkofa hiafo ebanum ebeku di a ese se omo kun na omo di because omo no omo se fata so omo ti ase we me kan economic theory ni chasiye se ni ayedi dwa ehun ti ase nchasiye ena me kan no e ade a ya tra to ho ena ya chirechiri ye bia ya be chire e wa ha mre bia etwem enti se wo ho na ka se survivor of a fittest a yen enche se wona omo tumi no ena ese se omo di nkunim ana se omo ti ase ni emom omo che se ona omo sefata se hu odi o hu nye di o se omo hu se hu die won sem fata se uti ase die na ye ti ho na se kom di yen ya ese se ye sefata eni ewu a won sem fata no ente se onye duani di na se ko hia se wa won sem fata na se di utu punu su chucha di mpo a je na ye sefata ena mi ka se uko hwe bible ma bible baby e kan asem efa enkoro akoko di ehun ena mi sari ye hu eta ko Genesis chapter 6 ni ma bi course was asase so na mi bu fu ya odi say ye eba ye na sai bensu na esi ye woni pa kuku dam binum kesi binma omo didi mi da omo nsusu omo mpejuma ye omo didi mi da omo nsusu omo yejuma omo mpejuma ye nti o say obinum yejuma mamo ohono ena midi yen ya adwen ebeba ye curriculum sabre ehu ye can say robotics because sabre no Genesis chapter 6 was about robotics. Genesis chapter 6 was about robotics, was about the mechanization man. What you call the mechanization man. The time of the Nephilim. The time of the Nephilim gods, Anu, Enli, and Enki. Those periods. And that these people, out of their rivalry, because of their scientific knowledge of one of these Anu and Enki, Enli and Enki rivalries, one of them, because of their insatiation, they are not satisfying, they were able to even produce this robot or men of a sort which cannot originally procreate. Every time they have to go to the lab and produce another robot. But it came to the time when one of these Nephilim gods revealed a secret which made the mechanical robots to be able to reproduce. the mechanical robots were able to reproduce. Let's go back and take Genesis chapter 6 very, very well. There are two main stories clumped together in that chapter. We have dealt with this thing before here. So the mechanization concept, the mechanization man, we are enjoying AI, artificial intelligence. I could have been a highly artificial intelligence expert par excellence by now, but I deliberately cut myself off the day I got the understanding that robots don't have souls and therefore they cannot rationalize. So it was like I didn't want to go and produce things that cannot rationalize thinking. Recently, there was a clip about a robot committing suicide. Did you see that clip? There's a clip about a robot committing suicide that is tired of working. He's tired of working. Robot committing suicide. Yes. It was on WhatsApp. I saw it myself. Robot committing suicide. So as we are putting the things out, we say we are in technology age and we are doing these things. There was one video, same video like this about some mass production of robots. When I saw it, me am shaming because it's like we are gradually getting there to Genesis chapter 6. We are gradually getting to the era of Genesis chapter 6 when God had to destroy things around because the evil of the planet was getting too much. I am concerned for the time because I want listeners to come in so that we can share some thoughts. So on this matter, my concern is parents have to be abreast with what is being taught in schools. Parents have to be concerned about the quality of the schools our children attend. Let us not all think that our children must all go to the same acclaimed best schools. But the resources should be there available for everybody. I don't know how resources are distributed, and I'm not judging how the resources are distributed. I am making comments based on the intelligence I find in what this school girl is saying. I don't know who tutored her to go and speak the way she's speaking, but for me, the facts are there. Why do some schools always have best teachers, so-called? Why?
My radio didn't come from that being you we need to turn up with radio. If I say it to you, yeah, you need that one. You can be a coach of the afternoon. And this is the same thing, a coach of the afternoon. And what we should would be grab a chilling and I'm in the back of them. So they are happy. In fact, I hear Africa for things. It's a thing. I hear supply everything. I mean, but you see, I got it for me. We are there with you for sure. I probably knew that. I probably knew what yesterday was this stuff. Not also after it. No one do anything. Which is, I couldn't say, I mean, I used to say, and yes, dear, hey, dear, let me just actually let me know let from when one able to do. I pray to suffer to some for. Oh, yeah, my animal does the last to come. My India, dear man, I don't know what for. Because I mean, I suppose I can reach you, if I begin, I kept by being fed. I think they can make that. They are what kind of anything. They are feeding that. And then they usually have the effect.
Okay.
I think I am. Me, most of the I they have effect. I say we need to be Ubi ayo ya hiyo wodi emenwore ebe da open nya wudi we papa o so o ko be e
Yeah, back to the 0240 358 182 0240 358 182 0240 358 182 0240 358 182. And the Reverend, on this matter, who you get computer, IT, what being, we are digital. Any pair only to Genesis chapter 6 number. Any the battery are still a standard banner. I advise Ben or the Bama GS based on this.
Advice Ben and with the Bama GS. Say, oh no, I deem me say, me kind of sad because me kind of from the perspective of near our GSH. Near Osma GS only Jimabi Emano. And at 2 year Odi Beshe GS in some and I can't GS and I can't one omo war a Jumedi Bia Efa school asemo. So your body is as I take it as a general concept of anybody and everybody who has something to do about education matters. Or say omo jina ho in the interests of parents and children. The anyaka ewa on the matters of the sponsors of youth say yanhwe ye na yanhwe ye manu nie ese omo hu sabri enam nyame kwan so there is going to be a generation gap actually say ebetumi aba say kire omo technology in the next 50-100 years all you know is technology. You don't know anything about any spirit being anywhere. All you know is technology. So the concept of God as a spiritual being will be lost. And the master say, if we do not remember the children and take care of them now, as we have talked about reincarnation, if you don't make it to heaven and you are given a chance to come back, you may not like what you come to find. You may not like what you come to find. And you know, one omuwo baby efa school nhihye eye ho ye no or say omutumi di nyamesum anasa entiasa omo nyame afa no omodi ka die omo ye no say ye kunta o say ye drawing o say ye din o or say omodi ehwe so right we say omo ye fem fine so niebe bia no say ye pese ye chima no omo nim bibi afi nyame hu dia saa mre ne yedi be hye omo nsem na said ye be hye omo nsem say last week yet ye bra kofi nsa o kasa no o kasa wo ko class 1 onya hye ase kran na say robot meanwhile teacher ni na old school no ye nhwe no robot okay say ko ba no say ya be kire omo next 2 3 4 5 years omo abi e wo robot nti office teacher school eba unim robotics enti u bana se obia akola bia ni robotics saa keke misi saa keke oni robotics saa keke na so to me robot keke enie technology na obeba no nususu aye ni robot ye se obia ye robot ena wasisa ni jeans ena robot no obe odi nu hu be wowa ye se wa we o se tuntumo se die o no di yare di ama o ni nyina se technology ni nyina ye technology ena ho atem ye ka inti omo hihye mra omo hihye ni e be kire wo school ni kika ho no gs ye boni din a ye din no etu omo ye agi wo school a ho asem bia ho no ye de onu tu ho general inti ese se omo hwe na de omo achi no ahọ na asem wo na we entimi ye asem ba ko e be kan nde na atwa PTA ye ko PTA ye say school better generator umpo betua school better bus umpo ubetua na dabe na PTA akofo so say ye koto textbooks ama school kola bia e wo school no dabe na PTA sorry ye e kan say saadi ya wo textbook yi ma wudi che ye ma no enye enti munye bi ho oho na say ye Yo, Medasi, listeners, thanks very much. And the challenge Ajasa is throwing is as to how we will ensure that our curriculum is delivering the best to us through our children. And the point is, whoever is involved in educational matters should put some God-fearing into what they're doing. Otherwise, we'll be teaching our children technology, and a few years to come, they will forget about God, and all they know is electronics, computer, artificial intelligence. That is all. So please, wherever we find ourselves, let's use positive influence or positive pressure to make sure the right things are done within our curriculum. Thank you very much. My number is 020 812 5078. 020 812 5078. Church Universal and Triumphant. Our location is at SDA Junction, Adenta, near Mami Document School. God willing, next week we meet to continue our discussions. Thank you very much.